My name is Lauren, and I am a triple diamond leader in this business. And tonight we're going to be talking with a super special guest. Her name is Jennifer Weatherly. She is a busy mom, a busy wife. She's a top enroller or a top earner in the company, a top enroller also. She's won the winner's circle twice already. I undoubtedly will win the island. And she is, the last I heard, she has already enrolled 12 DTs and 70 LCs this month. So she is an absolute rock star. Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you so much for taking time to talk with us tonight and to pour into us. You guys, if you are feeling moved by something that she says, just drop a bunch of zeros in the chat. Just light up the chat. If you have any questions, put them in there. If we have time, we'll get to them. We won't take too much of your time tonight, but we really do appreciate you taking the time to visit with us. So you can go ahead and unmute yourself and just tell us a little bit about you and about your story.
Awesome. Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me. It's a huge honor. My name is Jennifer Weatherly, and I have been in the business a little over 4 years now. I'm a presidential diamond. Prior to It Works, I was a stay-at-home mom. Sorry, distracted my ears. But prior to It Works, I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband owned his own pool business, so we were single income.
What would you want for this desk?
For that, our youngest son had special needs. So I have 2 boys. I'm a boy mama. My oldest is now 12, going on 13. And our youngest, who is like a huge part of my story, he just turned 6 yesterday. So literally, he's never had to live a single day of his life without me being home with him. But my entire first year in this business, I started off running, and then life hit us when we found out about our son, and my life became it revolved around doctor's appointments, therapy, surgeries, all that stuff. And so that became a huge part of my why. And, after treating it like a hobby for a while, we had in December of 2017, they had this announcement for Christmas cash bonuses, which they said every 5 customers you enroll, you can get $100 for. So it lit a fire up my butt, and I started running at that point. And from that point, up until that point, I was a steps to success person. I would try to get my 3 distributors. At that time, I think it was 4 customers, 4 to 6 customers. That was my average, and I was okay with that. But once this happened,
Jennifer, you're muted.
oh, sorry, I don't know where I left off. But I took off running at that point, a year into my business, and I discovered Host to Post, and that's what really changed a lot for my business. I went from averaging, that 5 to, on a good month, 10 customers to 50 to 100. So that month I enrolled 50 customers for my first time, and it just really showed me what was possible. And from that point on, I just took off running. And I didn't say this, but I in that entire first year, I got to the Ruby rank, and with life happening, I lost it. I went all the way down to distributor, paid as distributor. And then that moment when that fire was lit in me, I got my Ruby back that month. It was December. The following month in January, I promoted to Emerald, and we got that $5,000 bonus. And then the next month, I promoted to Diamond, got my husband to Emerald, got his $5,000 bonus. And then 2 months later, I promoted to Double. And I think at that point, it was, I can't remember if it was like a $15,000 or $20,000 bonus, but we snagged it and got my husband to Diamond. So in 5 months, just from having that mind shift, we promoted to Double Diamond. So since then, I've been able to retire my husband. He no longer has to work full time and stress and We're a full-time family. We were able to renovate our home. I get to be the yes mom I always wanted to be. Still get to be that stay-at-home mom, but now helping financially. And then we were able to get debt-free. And it's just been completely life-changing what's happened since, you know, I had that mind shift a year into my business.
That is so amazing. I've always watched your story and I just love watching all the adventures that you guys go on. You guys go on all kinds of trips all the time and I love to just watch your little family. I think it's so great. And it was so good to meet you whenever we were at the ranch. It's so nice to be able to just like watch you on Facebook and all that, but then to meet you. And I was just telling some of my leaders tonight, I was like, she is just the sweetest thing ever. And I'm so excited to talk to her and hear from her. So what does your typical day look like? I mean, I know that you've got kids and you've got all this stuff, but I mean, to be such a mass enroller, like, do you have specific non-negotiables that you stick with every day? Do you have a specific schedule? Kind of what does your typical day look like?
Yeah, and I took notes to keep myself on track or else I'll just like go crazy. But we implement the core 4 and more, or some of you might call it a 6 list or the non-negotiable daily task, whatever it is, it's the same thing. We all have, in my mind, certain tasks that we have to complete each day to be successful in our business. And so we call it the core 4 and more. And so obviously 4 years ago, my schedule was different from how it is today, but I've still been able to work the business around the schedule, regardless of how it went. So, back when my son was going to his therapies multiple times a week, I was able to work my business while in the waiting room or, like on a break, and then now he's in school. So it's a lot different. Both of my kids are in school. My oldest is in junior high and now Damon is full time at school. But the last 2 years, he was only going a couple hours. So I would cram in as much as I could, while he was away. But now a typical day, it literally looks like I wake up, and this was something I had to learn. Okay, I'm a person who values their sleep. My son did not sleep through the night for 5 years. Okay, so I know what it's like to not have that sleep, but I also know how important it is to have that time to yourself where you're focused. So I wake up a couple hours, 1 to 2 hours early every single day prior to anybody in my house. That's the time where it's uninterrupted. I'm laser focused, right? I don't have that distraction going on. So I always make sure to wake up a couple hours prior to them waking up. And then I'll do my self-development. I have to start my day with that. Every single day I have to fuel my fire. I have to fill myself up before I can, pour into others. So that is a non-negotiable. That's like one of the core 4 and more. The other is posting every single day. I'll throw up a super easy post in the beginning because I want to get that self-development and like focus on my task. So I don't spend too much time on my first post. It's like an inspirational quote. Boom. I have a couple more hours till my next post. So my rule of thumb is posting every single day, 3 to 5 times a day, at least 3 times, right? That's at least morning, noon, and night. We should all be able to do that. So I put that post up and then I'm getting to my messages. I'm getting to my follow-ups. To me, fortune is in those follow-ups. And I'm that person that doesn't want to have just like a follow-up Friday or a follow-up here and there. My goal is to have somebody or multiple people to be following up with every single day. So I'm making sure first thing in the morning that I'm getting those follow-ups done because I have all those messages already waiting for me. I don't get to those yet. I do my follow-ups first, then I get to my messages. But so the self-development, posting 3 to 5 times a day. And when I say posting, like that's I'm a Facebook person. I post on Instagram as well. But Facebook is my baby. So 3 to 5 times on there. And then my stories. I'm also posting to my stories religiously throughout the day. Like I don't feel like there's an algorithm to that. You can post all day long. So make sure you're posting to not only your page, but also to your stories, because that's where you're going to get a lot of interaction. And I notice a lot of the people that don't even see or acknowledge my posts, they're seeing and acknowledging my stories. So make sure you're posting to both. Post to post, that to me is like right up there with self-development for me. it's what took me from that, steps to success, 3 to 5 customers to 50 to 100. So to me, it is an absolute non-negotiable. And I also tell my team this all the time. When you're getting out host to post every single day consistently, you're going to notice that there's so many tasks that we do each day for this business that revolves just around host to post. So I don't know about you, but I'm a KPI person. I have that KPI tracker printed out, and I like to print that off too, okay? Or check off. I like to check off the task. It just makes me feel like I accomplished something. And if I didn't, I'm like, crap, I gotta do more of it. It holds me accountable. And then growing your network, obviously, I started this business with no network and we didn't have host to post. So I did it the old school way, just add friends from mutual friends and build those relationships, right? So you got to be growing your network consistently. And host to post does that organically for you. And then, like I said, build those relationships. So that's really my core 4 and more. It's the posting, host to post, growing your network, building those relationships, but then you got to have that self-development every single day. I feel like I don't know what I would do without it, because even as leaders, we have to be poured into. So I have to fill my cup every single day with that self-development. But yeah, I get a lot done when the kids are at school. But another thing that I do with my host to post, you guys, and we'll talk about this because I know it was on your list, like host to post system. So maybe I'll just wait to get to that. I'll let you ask me a different question, then I'll get into that more in depth.
I love that. Yeah, I tell so many people all the time, like, if you're doing host to post, then everything else that you should be doing in the day is just going to happen by default. Like, if I get nothing else done in my day and I just get my host post up, then I'm going to have all the other tasks are going to just fall into place. So I truly believe that too. And I like that you were talking about personal development too, because this business, it's unlike any other type of business, and it is such a personal business because we put so much time and effort and emotion into it, and we work on it so much that you just have to, it has to be a non-negotiable to have that personal development. So that will bring us to your host to post game. So I actually didn't know that the majority of your work is done on Facebook. So that's really neat to me to see that, like, you can still be that big of a mass enroller through just one stream, one platform. So tell us kind of like what your host to post game is. Do you do giveaway, product, opportunity? Do you just stick to kind of one type? Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, so I'm a firm believer of consistency. So like, I know in the past there's been times where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try the Thermofite X host post, I'm gonna give this one hair, skin, and nails, I'm gonna do coffee, like I'm mixing them up. But when you do that, it's not very consistent. So my rule of thumb is to stick to one product host post an entire month. Because, okay, and the reason I do this is because there's been times, so like I started out with cleanse host post. Like I literally went through I sucked my network dry with the cleanse host post. I did it for like a year and a half. And then I found a point where it was like, I was coming to a halt. So I was like, okay, when that happens, you got to change something up. So I was like, okay, we had the coffee. Everybody loves coffee. So then I went on this roll with coffee and I was enrolling lots of customers with that. But then same thing happened. I noticed like it was like kind of coming to a halt. So then I switched it up to TFX, you guys. And like for an entire week, like they were like dead. Like I would get a comment here and there, some interest here and there, but it was like, I was like, oh, did I make a mistake switching from coffee to Thermofite X? But then the second weekend, you guys, I don't know, I think it was just me being consistent and just rolling with it. They just started taking off like crazy and they were blowing up. I was enrolling so many customers left and right. But then we got these gummies, right? We got these gummies out and I wasn't having any issues with Thermofite host post at all. Like to this day, I know I could say confidently I'm going to get lots of customers from doing it. But I saw on a sideline sister, somebody in her team was like pushing for a promotion, and on the last day of the month, she enrolled like 19 customers from a gummies host post. I was like, well, if she can do that, I can do that too. So I was like, what's this gummy soda supposed? Let me try it out. And from that moment on, it's been, I think that was March. So all of March, all of April, and now May, maybe even end of February. It's been a couple months. I have literally been just doing gummies host to post. That's it. And again, it took it a bit. Not everyone's going to take off, but my goal each day, you guys, I'm going to be real with you. It's 10 or more host to post up each day. So we all know you can't just ask 10 people to get 10 up, right? You have to ask multiple people to get the 10 to actually follow through with posting. And so what I do to stay organized and on track, and so that these people don't fall through the cracks, is I write everything down. Okay, and I know this is part of it too, like the organization will go right in with this. I started this in April of last year, so a little over a year now, and I haven't had to change it up because it's working great. And I don't say this to brag or, but I enroll 50 minimum every single month. Last month, I think I was at 93, the month before 122. Right now I'm at 89. So, we have a lot of time left, but it's because, you guys, I'm writing things down and I want to show you what I do, okay? So I'm not like getting no fancy planners and like being all pretty and all that, right? I tried that. I had notebooks for everything and it was just too much to keep track of. And I'm a person that's like, just keep it simple, right? So I took it old school. I didn't rely on my phone anymore. I started writing names down. And so I have just like a standard 3-ring binder, just a little one. And I just get loose leaf paper, like college ruled paper. And I put like a stack in my binder, okay? And then for each day, I have 2 sheets of paper. And I don't know if some of you guys have heard this or seen my YouTube videos. I go over it a lot because it's amazing. But I have 2 sheets of paper, okay? So one sheet, at the top, I put host to post, HAP. And then the second sheet, I put PLC for potential loyal customer. And then I just I have it numbered 1 through whatever. So this is for today. I get out my host to post multiple ways. I'm posting about our cash giveaway. So I'm sure you guys come together as a team and have like a cash giveaway or something like that, or maybe you have products on whatever it is. I'm posting like every other day, if not every day, about our cash giveaway that we have. Like, comment your favorite color below to get entered in, those type of posts. That gets me a lot of interest. I do get a lot of repeaters doing that, but I am growing my network every day. So I am getting new people in that as well. So that's one method, okay? But the one that I get the most up with and the most success, because I want 10 a day, is I greenlight message. I don't call it cold messaging. If you're my friend, if you accepted my friend request, you're my friend. So I'm going to message you. So I just go into my friends list on Facebook and I start at the letter A and I work my way down to Z. Each day I leave off on a different name. Obviously, I don't message from A to Z because I have like 5,000 friends, right? But my rule of thumb is 50 messages at once. And I'll even put in the chat really quick the message that I send. It's so short and sweet, you guys. I don't explain all this to get them to post. It's just literally to the point. I put their name after hey to make it more personal. So I'd be like, hey, Lauren, would you mind sharing a post for me that I give you? And in return, I can enter you into my May cash giveaway. Each month I'll change the month, obviously, but I don't change it up. That's all I use. And then they'll either say yes or no, or they'll ghost me. If they ghost me, cool. If they say no, cool. No sweat. I know I'm going to get a lot to say yes. I go for that no, okay? So that's what I do. I message 50 people at once and I just count in my head, Ashley, Amanda, Sarah, I'm going down my A to Z list. And then once I hit 50 in my head, I'll take a screenshot of the person's name that I leave off on. So today I left off on Angel. So I just took a screenshot and I just put HAP. So now I know either later on tonight or tomorrow when I send out my next 50, I'm gonna start at Angel, and I'm gonna send 50 more. But that's literally what I do every single day, whether I'm sick, if I'm on vacation, if I'm at the winner's circle, whatever it is, I'm greenlight messaging 50 people because I want to get out my 10, and I know it's going to take probably more than 50 to get out 10. Some days, maybe not. Maybe I'll get 20. It's just, It's all about the day. It's all about the person. So I do that every single day. But then you guys also, if you're talking to a potential customer, you know, and they're just not ready to bite, like at this moment, ask them to share a post for you. You know, if they're not interested, okay, no problem. How would you feel about sharing a post for me? And I can enter you into my cash giveaway this month. They're gonna say yes, more than likely, okay? Like at least 80% will say yes. And then boom, now you have a whole nother network to tap into. And they're still interested in the product. But now they just shared a post for you, all their network that's interested, it's gonna even pique their interest even more. They're gonna see Sally just ordered and Amanda just ordered. Now they're like, okay, I'm ready to order. My friend's ordering, I don't wanna miss out on this, right? So I just ask everybody, but every single day, it's about consistency. It's a numbers game. So the more that you're asking, the more results you're gonna be getting. So I do that for my host posts, and then I want to go back to this, okay? So how I write their names down. I don't write down every single person's name. Everybody who I ask, I would have like 18 sheets of paper a day, right? So how I determine when I write their name down, it's when I ask, like, say I said, Heather, how would you feel about sharing a post for me? She says, yes, I'd give her the post. Once I give somebody the post, that's when I write their name down, because now I want to follow up. I want to make sure, okay, did Sarah actually put the post up or did she forget? You know, if she did, I'll put like a star by their name. So like today I have like 11 people out of 25 who have said yes, who actually put the post up. So whatever 25 minus 11 is, quick math, I'm not gonna, but I'm gonna follow up with all these people tomorrow, right? Tara didn't put it up for me. So I'm gonna check, I'm gonna go to her Facebook page tomorrow morning, right? This is when I'm doing like my follow-ups. I'm gonna check Tara's page. If she put it up, cool. I'm gonna enter into my cash giveaway. But if she forgot to, I'm just simply gonna just reach out to her. And again, it's a short message. I just send this. And I'll put her name. I'll say, hey, Sarah, did you still want to tag me in that post and get entered into the cash giveaway? 90% of the time they're gonna be like, oh shoot, I forgot. No problem, I'll put it up for you right now. So like all these people that I could potentially be missing out on today that told me yes, if I wasn't writing their name down, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not sharing the post for me because I've already forgot about them. I'm not gonna scroll through my messenger and read through every message to see who I asked, right? So these are now potentials that are gonna post for me tomorrow because they forgot to do it today. So I'm constantly writing names down and following up. And I do the same thing for my potential customers. Once we get to the pricing point, I'll write their name down and then the product they're interested in. If they order, I just cross them off, I highlight them. If they did, like they're still on the fence, right? We got to the price point, but they didn't respond back to me. Tomorrow, I'm just gonna follow up with them too. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm getting in a bunch of orders. Do you want me to get yours in while I'm placing theirs? So I'm constantly following up every single day. And this method, by writing it down, it just makes it so much easier to keep track of. But then another thing I do with my host post, so all these people that have stars by their name, I'm not done with them yet. I'm gonna go to their post that they put up for me and I'm gonna boost it. So anybody who likes that post, I'm gonna add them as a friend. Anybody who commented, I'm gonna add them as a friend. I'm gonna respond to them though. I'm not just gonna love their comment. I'm gonna love their comment. I'm gonna reply back and I'm gonna let them know, hey, I just added you and sent you a friend request. So now they're looking for my friend, or I just added you and sent you a message. So now they're looking for my friend request or my message, right? They're a potential customer. So I'm messaging them, I'm adding them, but then I'm boosting that post by saying 4 spots left. And I'll put like a before and after picture, a corporate approved one, of course, in the comments below. So now they're seeing, okay, I responded to everybody. I have 4 spots left. Here's a before and after. This is what it does, you know, like it's showing them real results. And then that person that shared a post for me, I'm getting in their inbox and I'm asking them to join my team because they just shared a post for me, helping me get customers and grow my business. Why not help them do that for themselves? So that's kind of how a lot of my business revolves around host to post. You guys, I'm literally messaging, growing my network, following up, getting potential customers, getting even a potential distributor. just by getting up those posts. It's so crazy. And you're tapping into so many people's networks. It's just, it is a non-negotiable. If it's not for you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, make it one and watch the shift in your business. It's going to explode.
Absolutely. I mean, when I started doing host to post, I'm nowhere near your number of enrollments, but when I started doing host to post, I mean, it just changed everything for my business. I mean, I think probably 9 out of 10 customers that I get a month are from host to post. I may have the one little straggler that's from my family or something, but the majority of my enrollments all come from host to post. And I know it's overwhelming for people in the beginning, but I mean, if you're not feeling a little bit overwhelmed, you're not working hard enough. But I really like your organizational tips, because I know I am a little bit guilty of not writing down like who I've sent the message or who I've sent the post to. And then like 3 days later, I'll be like, oh no, they didn't post. And then I'll have to go scroll back through. So I love that tip. So whenever you're getting new distributors and you're building your team, how soon are you launching them with host to post? Or like, what is your like go-to launch for the first few days of your newbies?
Yeah, so day 3 is like when we're doing host posts, because I just know how it transformed my business, but also like I said, it's like all the tasks that you get, like it gets uncomfortable messaging. And it is like what we do, it's duplication. So it's like, say this, say this, say this, and they're gonna catch on. Oh wow, I'm saying the same thing to every person, you know? And it's like it just gets uncomfortable, and they're posting, they're growing, they're adding new people. So day 3, so we actually have, and I have like the boards or whatever. We have like a 10-day system that we do. I'm hooking on it right now. But day 1, it's basically, you know, I'm adding them. I'm telling them to log into your eSuite and fill out the tax form, watch these training videos, send me a picture of yourself so I can introduce you to the team. I'm getting them on the team page. And then I'm having them start on that dirt list, you know, like think of people that would buy dirt from you. Write down as many names as you can on this list and we'll get you started, right? And then we start messaging them, you know, like send this message to 5 people. And then as they respond, take a screenshot and send it to me. I let them know, like, send me a screenshot every reply, blow me up. I want you to blow me up. If you're not, I'm worried, you know, or I'm gonna assume you know what you're doing. And we all know we don't know what we're doing when we join. So blow me up. So and then day 2, it's posting. I'm teaching them, I'm giving them their first 3 posts, like make this post. And the first one's like usually like the whole, I just started this journey, like introducing this new business that they're doing. The next post is like the I do a gummies post, depending on what it was. Like it used to be coffee, then it was TFX. Now I'm all about gummies, so I give them like a gummies post that like testers needed, comment below, that one, you know. And then the third one is like to get them comfortable with host posts, like comment your favorite cookie below, get entered into my cash giveaway. So it's like introductory, a product, and then getting some interaction to get out some host posts, right? And then now, because they already posted and they kind of got a little taste of host posts, now I'm like digging deep and explaining, like, this is why we do it. This is what's going to get you a lot of customers. And then I give them that, like, okay, you're going to send this message to 50 people right now, like I said to you guys. And then once you've done that, let me know. I'm going to give you the response. So literally day 3, we're cranking out host posts. At least that's my goal. Obviously, we have some distributors that take off slower or they're not getting back to you. This is like somebody who's like, what next? What next? What next? Right? Those ones that we all want. Day 4, I'm teaching them how to grow their network. You know, obviously they had a taste of growing it organically with host to post. But I didn't have that when I first joined. The other way I grow my network is I'll literally just pick a random friend, a female, usually from my network, and I'll just go into their friends list and start adding their friends who have 3 or more mutual friends. I only add women. I don't add the men. You know, I teach them that. Like, this is another way to grow your network. And then day 5, teaching them how to build those relationships, because we can add people all day long, right? But it's when you start building those relationships where you really notice that increase in your interaction on your page, you know. Go and don't just love people's posts, like comment like a sentence, like, I love your dress, where did you get it? Or I love your makeup today, that eyeshadow really brightens your eyes. Like, like start a conversation or even leave it off with a question like, where did you get that? Now they're responding back to you. You're starting a conversation. I teach them how to build relationships. And then, same with stories, like interact on people's stories. Day 6, we're teaching them how to message and follow up, right? Day 7, that's when we dig into self-development. And I did want to say too, there's a thing called, there's personal development, you guys, but then there's also leadership development, okay? And that's something I didn't know I had to learn. I could do personal development all day long, but it wasn't until I started doing like leadership development that I started like growing in my leadership. So I wanted to bring that up too, but I forgot to bring that up when we were talking about it. And then day 8, we just do like a recap of the core 4 and more, just reiterate like this is what you're doing now. You're posting, you're doing all this. This is literally what we do every single day. And then, day 9, we're teaching them how to be a product of the product. Like we all want to be running an auto ship, right? We explain how it benefits us, but how important it is to be a product of the product, how you're going to, relate to people more. People are going to be more interested when they see you being a product of the product, and those, before and after corporate approved results, those just speak for themselves. So we're teaching them how to be a product of the product, get on the product, share the product, show yourself making it, show your, things like that. And then day 10, that's where we do like the breakdown, like, okay, now that you're familiar with the business and doing all this, we want you to know like Mondays are our leadership trainings, Tuesday are this trainings, Wednesday we do this. Like we break down our schedule, our Zooms and power hours, all that good stuff. So it's literally a 10-day system that we do. And we just, if you pull out that KPI tracker, it's basically like that. Knock out like a task on that each day so that way you're not just like overwhelming them with information overload. Break it up each day with a task. Now you're going to get some people that are like greens or reds, and they're just like, I got this, I'm ready. And you go at their pace. If they're ready for more, give them more. But you don't ever want to just assume and give too much right away, because that can scare people away. So that's really what we do. It's just duplication. We just teach duplication, just each day, learn a new task and just keep checking in, and literally hand holding in the first, week, and just checking in, blow my phone up, things like that.
Yes, I think that people, when they first get started, they're nervous, like, oh, I don't want to bother her. I don't want to pester her, but we like it. Like,
Yeah.
We don't know how to help you if we don't know what's going on. And we really love whenever people are blowing our phones up and asking questions. So make sure you guys are staying connected. So we have just a couple more questions, and then we will be done. But I know we've already touched a little bit on the self-development. What are your favorites? What are you reading right now? Is there one that you recommend to your newbies, or what do you listen to podcasts? What do you do?
All of it. But so when I first joined, like I said, I didn't know what self-development was, and I was introduced to The Secret. And I think I just like listened to it over and over on YouTube, and that just lit my fire. So I recommend that for sure. And for newbies, I recommend Go for No. I always recommend it. I always have it, like it's like right here because I'm always talking about it. It's so small. It's the smallest book ever. You can literally read it from front to back. If you're not a reader, you will read it, I promise. And I'm not a big reader. I like to listen to things, but I do challenge myself to read because I always retain more when I do that. But this, I always recommend for newbies for sure. It teaches you how to go for that no. We can all be so terrified to hear that word, but really, like, the more you're being told no, that means you're asking more people, and you're gonna get more people to jump and say yes. So Go for No, I always recommend to my newbies. But what I started reading right now, because I'm hearing Cami talk about it, Rachel Jones talking about it, a lot of leaders are talking about it. It's the Winning the War in Your Mind with Craig Rochelle. I just started it, so I can't give feedback or anything like that, but so far I'm loving it. And I know it's just gonna be so good. And I feel like for anybody in this business, no matter where you're at, you've been in for 4 years, your season doesn't matter. We all kind of struggle with those thoughts in our head or that outside noise. So I feel like this is a good book for anybody. But also I feel like this book, The Miracle Morning, this book was introduced to me by Amanda Busher. She's like my upline. It transformed her entire business and how she was leading, and I saw it firsthand. And so I'm that person. I want to copy the right cat. So I started doing this, and this is what really helped me get out of that sleeping in phase where I just wanted to sleep all the time. And it helped me literally just get laser focused and on a schedule to wake up and just, brush your teeth. Like, you get this routine schedule, and you just notice that your day just, I don't know, like, you're not like frantically stressing all the time, like rushing. Like, I used to wake up at the same time as my kids, and I would be like, okay, we got to get you dressed. I got to take care of myself. I got to do this, and then it's like, oh, and then by the time I get home, it's like 9 o'clock and I'm just starting my day, and so now it's like, I get to just like, it's my son, I'm pouring into myself, it's like, it's so much better, and I get so much more done, and I just feel so much more accomplished. So that changed a lot. And then a book that I can't even tell you how many times I've read and listened to it, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. That literally just changed my mindset, just with money and just my worth and just everything. That one I like recommend like all the time, like number one on my list. Like, read it, listen to it. It's so good. And then 2 more that I'll just recommend only because they're in our field, in our industry. I love this book by Sherry Lynn Alcala, You Can Do Hard Things. Read it. This is one of the books I like actually read from front to back and highlighted and marked, and because that's like she inspired me, right? I look up to her, and so I'm like, I want to soak in and learn from her. So I love this book. And then the queen herself, Pam Souter, Rich Girl, Poor Girl. You can't go wrong with this. So those are just a few, but like, I love books and self-development. Like I said, Host to Post, self-development right there at the top for my non-negotiables. So those are just a few good ones, but there's literally, we could just have one Zoom just going over like the books and self-development, and then podcasts. I love Pam Souter and Craig Groeschel. So I feel like you can never have too much.
I know. I love reading, and I'm not very good with the audibles because I don't retain it that well. But when I first started, I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know how important it was. And they just kept preaching it and preaching it and preaching it. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I started reading the books, and I was like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So the last question, I know that you pour into so many people. You do these Zooms, you do your team, you do all the stuff for everybody else. You just have so many different roles that you play. How do you stay motivated each day? Like, you've been doing this for years. How do you stay? I know obviously people can't be motivated every single day, but how do you stay motivated and wanting to keep going?
Yeah, so obviously your why has to be really big, right? You have to know your why. In the beginning, I didn't have a why. I never even tried the products when I joined. I just wanted to try the products at a cheaper price. And if I made money, cool. And then when I started making money, it was like I had extra money. This is cool. But I never saw long-term, like having a team, promoting, and, seeing some of the paychecks I've seen. Like, that wasn't on the radar at all. But it was when my son got diagnosed with his special needs. He's nonverbal. Like, he just turned 6 yesterday. He's nonverbal. He babbles. He's learning here and there. I can kind of understand some of the things he's saying, but it's not clear. It's like average person wouldn't know what he's saying, he just started sleeping through the night, you guys. He's 6. He still doesn't eat food, like solid foods. We just got him on purees. Like, he's like my 6-year-old little baby in a way, he became my why because I was already a stay-at-home mom, but I knew the long road that we had ahead of us. And I knew that there was no way in heck that I was going to go back to work and work a 9 to 5 and have somebody else be taking care of him. For me to just work and pay them to take care of him and me not be there for his milestones, his therapies, his surgeries, it was like not even there. And that's what really shifted for me. That became my why, is being able to stay home and being able to make enough money to help provide for my family and be there for my kids, and then also I'm really competitive. I'm super competitive. I grew up with an older brother. We're 15 months apart, so we're super close. But literally growing up, it was me, him, and my mom. That was it. And so like I hung out with him and all of his friends, like all the guys, and like I just wanted to be one of the guys and like prove my worth, you know. I'm like 4'11", I'm super short, but I was like, I could do whatever you say. I can't do it, watch me. So I just became super competitive at a really young age. Like even in video games, like he taught me how to play video games, and then I made it a goal to be better at them than him, and I did. So, you know, with this business, I just feel like once I caught the vision and I knew my why and I had a reason to show up every day, it made it very easy. It wasn't like I had to do it. It became, I get to do it. And that's what you're looking for in this business. You want to wake up each day excited. You know, it's hard work. It's not easy, but it's not hard. You know, it's not hard. It is easy. It's just doing a lot of the same things over and over. You have to have that self-discipline. You have to show up on the days you don't want to. That's what makes this a business and not a hobby. But you really, what changed everything was finding my why and getting excited again, but also just seeing what I had my hands on and knowing, okay, if I just apply these tools that are already in my hands, look what can happen. Ruby in 1 month, Emerald the next month, Diamond the next, double the next, 10 months later, triple, 14 months later, presidential, you know, like that is my reason for showing up every day. It was, okay, look what I'm doing. But now it's even more than that. It's like, I'm showing my kids what's possible, but then I have a team that looks up to me. I have a team that I show up for each day, because if I can do this, a shy introvert girl who used to like talk crap about network marketing because I didn't know what it was, right? We like to think we know everything, but we really don't. I used to talk crap about network marketing. I thought it was a scam. You know, I was that kid in school. I would literally fake sick. I would have my mom call me out if I had like to talk in front of the class. I hate public speaking. I just had to grow a lot in my leadership in this business, you guys. I literally wouldn't turn my camera on a Zoom. So I totally got off track there, but literally you just have to know your why. Why are you doing this? We all joined, right? Go back to the day that you joined. Maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was a year ago, 4 years ago, I don't know. Look at how excited you were when you first joined and try to get that excitement back, okay? Because that's what's gonna make it fun. You know, when you show up and you start to see those results, it gets fun. But at the end of the day, you have to have a driving factor. You have to dig deep and know why you're showing up each day. Like, what is your goal? Make a goal and knock that goal out of the ballpark and then set another goal. We should always be dreaming, right? There's no dream that's too big for us. We've seen it. We've seen what this business can do, right? For so many people. So why not you? Totally got off track there. Sorry. Did we lose her? I think we lost her. But yeah, I think that's it. Hi,
Alyssa. Hey, I don't know if Lauren got kicked off. I wasn't hosting tonight because my in-laws are here, and so we were visiting. So I'm just hopping on because I have no idea where she went. But I know that we probably already took up so much of your time. We try to keep them to 30 minutes, but we also don't want to kick people off when they're giving us so much good information. So do you have anything closing that you want to share? Anything that you would tell your team? I'm trying to think on here if we've got a lot of newbies, but how about just like to wrap up the rest of May? What would be your encouragement to people? I know we've got a lot of people whose kids are about to come home from school, a lot of people that are saying, you know, May has been slow for me. What's your encouragement to those people? Because obviously May is not slow for you. And so I think that's just a mindset thing, but I'd love to know what your tips are for just closing out the month.
That is what I would say, because it does come down to you and what you're telling yourself. It's a mindset thing. So if you're putting it out there and you're saying it's a slow month, nobody's ordering, I can't sign. If you're saying all these things that you can't do or what's not happening, that's what you're going to keep getting, because energy flows where your attraction goes. It's so true. And I know you guys have heard that many times, and you're going to hear it many more times, because it's so true. So instead of focusing on what's not happening, focus on what is going to happen, what can happen. Okay, what is today? It's the 20th, so we have 10 days left. a lot of people I've noticed, they wait till the 25th and on to push. They wait to see the numbers in eSuite and they're like, oh crap, I gotta get my butt in gear. Instead of doing that, start day one. So obviously we're on day 20. So treat today like it's day one. Start now with that whole new mindset of, okay, tomorrow's a new day. I'm going to wake up maybe an hour earlier. If you're one of those people like me who struggles, get up earlier and just be super intentional with your time. Because that is one of the things that's hard, right? Especially like you said, with these kiddos are going to be coming home for summer break soon. You know, you got to set that schedule. Maybe set it the day ahead. Get your task already. Pre-plan your post if you have to, but make a goal each day and be super intentional with your time. So if, like, for instance, you're taking some time to message for host to post, be so laser focused on that one task, on getting those 50 messages out. Maybe your team's messaging you, you have calls coming in, ignore them, okay? They're gonna still be there when you're done. So just focus on the task at hand and just be super, super duper intentional with your time. That's what I would do, just be laser focused. And then end this month, like, run with the momentum, right? I feel like we all come together and kill end of the month. I've seen some magic happen like the last 2 days on my team. And I'm like, imagine if you did that all month long, where you could be. So I'm just saying, like, don't wait until the 25th to start running now, and then carry that momentum into June. Don't just pump the brakes because it's a new month. Run with that momentum. Don't take your foot off the gas as long as there's momentum going, because that's where the magic is going to happen.
So good. And I will just put a plug in here real quick, you guys. If you don't realize this, Memorial Day weekend is end of month. So that means this week, starting right now, is crunch time, because I'm not taking off Memorial Day weekend. My goals are too big for that, you guys, but we know that it's a holiday weekend. And so treat this whole week like it's your last few days of the month, and then use the holiday weekend to plant tons of new seeds. Like, that's going to be my goal, is to do the crazy amounts of follow-up this week, and then use the holiday weekend to see how many people I can start talking to on Friday and seal the deal with by Monday. So that's kind of my main deal. But I love that. I appreciate you so much. You guys, the way that you start your morning is going to determine how you run your day. And just like she said, I feel like if you have to get up earlier, even if it's 5-10 minutes, I don't know about you guys, but if I react to what's going on in my day, I feel like all day long I'm just trying to catch up. Like, I'm drinking water out of a fire hose if I wake up to kids crying. But if I make the decision to get up just 10 minutes earlier and I get to choose how I start my day with my cup of coffee or whatever, I feel way different all day long. And then the very last thing I'm going to say, you guys, and she already touched on this, is if you've said anything like, I'm having a slow week, or I'm having a slow month, or any of those things that you're speaking out over your business, you guys, it's only the 20th. You still have a third of the month left. It's not a slow month. You're not stuck. You're not, whatever you keep saying, you're not. It might be a slower week, but instead of thinking of it that way, as long as you're still showing up and you're still planting the seeds and you're still posting and you're still aiming to do host to post every single day, you're not stuck. You're just planting. And that's part of a business cycle, you guys. You're not stuck, you're planting. Try to flip your perspective on that and it'll change everything for your business. So Jennifer, you are the best. Congratulations on Winner Circle ×2 and already being qualified for Winner Circle 3 so far. And we are so thankful for you spending the night with us, so inspired by you, and we just appreciate you so much. So you got lots of fire and zeros in the chat, so I'm sure they told you that's just our fire emojis, but we appreciate you. Thank you guys for getting on. I know we are about to jump into a quick power hour, so if you guys can stay on and work with us, please do that.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey guys, oh my goodness gracious. I freaking loved that. I loved what she had to say. Oh, that
We lost your sound. Uh-oh, here, I'll make you.
this is what I'm gonna do. Hang on, oh, you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I might have to switch over to my phone if this is too shoddy, but I'm in a new spot in my house, so we'll see how it goes. But I was just saying, I'm so excited to hear from her. I think I hope all of you guys were taking notes like crazy because we're about to do a host to post like training slash power hour. I know I've got some newbies on here that are super new in the industry, so I want to make sure that I am talking to them at first. Okay, I want to kind of go over what host to post really is. And I just want to make sure that everybody's kind of on the same page with that first. So, guys, host to post. Can you all hear me? I'm getting some. Okay. Host to post is a lead generating tool. Okay, that's like what she was just saying is like you can see full circle how important it is to do host to post because it literally marks off so many different things that we do. But it is going to generate more leads than anything else that you do. Okay, and you are going to be getting all of these leads from the people who are actually posting for you. And it's just like that's how I look at every person that actually puts up a post. They are my potential. Okay. And when you start shifting your mind to looking at the people that are posting for you as a potential and all of the exciting ways of getting them on your page by these giveaways, you're going to grow your network. And all of these things are going to happen from just doing host to post. So that's why we always like harp on it, right? I want to go over the rules really quickly. It's not really like a rule, but it is a rule. At least for me, I think it is actually kind of a rule. You're only allowed to have 2 entries from the same person in a month. Okay. So if you don't want the same person constantly hosting a post for you, you can let them know, oh, I got you entered already, girl. You know, hit me up next week on my next post. I'll get you in if you've got somebody who's constantly posting for you. But you want to make sure that you're only getting like 2 of the same person in the month. And then it's $5 after your first month, okay, to actually contribute into the actual giveaway itself. So you, as a distributor, when you sign up for the first 30 days, it's free. After that, you actually send Alyssa Bowman on our team does it, and she does it on the Success Squad page, and you can literally just like Venmo her the $5. And guys, I want to point something out to you that you may not think about. And when you're getting questions about host to post, like if somebody is like, well, what are you doing? Or why do you do these posts? You know, if you get somebody who is asking about like why you do this, it's a great like what I like to say is I tell them that I absolutely love doing these because I get to bless people with it, for one, and that makes me feel really good. And 2, I'm an online business owner, so it's a great tax write-off at the end of the year because honestly, it is. I mean, you can add up all of your host posts that you've paid in and use it as advertisement. So it's literally a tax write-off. And if you guys do that with your business, and if you take it to that, then you can actually use it as a tax write-off. And it's just a great way. People relate super well with that, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll put up the post for you. You know, I get it. You know, I mean, so I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you guys. And just really dive in here. We're going to start actually doing some tasks here. I'm going to pass it over to Hannah. She's going to tell you all the different ways of how you're going to get this, like spread the word of the giveaway.
Hi, you guys. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple different things, and then we can kind of work on some tasks as I talk about them. But the first way, so like if you're new to the business and haven't posted one of these yet, one of the ways that we get the word out about the giveaway is simply just posting a status about it on our Facebook page. And so what that looks like is basically just giving someone a simple task to answer on the post, and that gives them the chance to have an entry. And so you can scroll through a variety of top leaders pages to find examples and ones that have worked well. I don't know if Larissa, you want to send a few in the chat for people to use, but I would say I post no more than one giveaway post on my page a week. I know sometimes people do like maybe 2 a week, but I try to stick to one. And then every time someone comments on it or you respond to their comment, it's going to boost it again. And so like I've literally had the same one up probably for at least a week and a half. And people are still commenting on it because every time I respond to people's comments, it's just keeping it in people's feed. So new people keep commenting on it. So I don't have to post one every single day in order to keep people active on my posts on my feed. And so way number one, especially if you're new, one of the first things you're going to do in the business is get a giveaway post up on your page. And so that you're getting engagement on your feed from people who are already in your network commenting, so that they're going to hopefully post for you. And then you're branching into their network as well. So you're just continuously growing your network from people who are already in your network. So that's way number one. So if you haven't already in the past week, if you want to, I know Larissa posted or sent some in the chat, you can copy and paste that onto your status. Always use a colored background because it catches people's eye. And so we can do that. And then I usually let it sit for at least a couple hours before I start responding, just so that it's getting boosted on its own by people commenting on it. And then as I start replying to the comments, then I'm boosting it again. And so I usually wait a little bit. It's totally up to you. If it's your first time ever doing it, I would recommend like waiting 12-ish hours before responding, just to like get the momentum and people commenting and stuff like that. The second way that you can get people to post for you, we call it either green light messaging, or like we talked about before we got on here, the A through Z messaging. You can use that way too. But I have a couple, and I have my phone open too so that I can send these, but I actually got these from Kim Chipak, and I really like them, and it's great for like green light messaging or A through Z messaging. And I just send this first. I'm sending it right now. It just says, "Hey beauty, I have a fun question for you. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to buy or sell anything," with like a laughing face. And this catches people's attention. And so instead of just like being like, "Hey, will you post for me?" People are like, "Oh, what is she going to ask me? I'm so confused." And they want to know. And so they're like, people, it's so funny because I will green light message. A lot of times I green light message, and like immediately they're like, "Oh, what's up?" Or they'll be like, "Haha, LOL, that's so funny. Like, what is it? Or what's going on?" And they want to know, and it gets them curious. And whether or not they post for me, I'm at least in their inbox and they responded back to me, which is going to boost my algorithm and keep me on their page. So regardless of if they post for me or not, that's a win-win right there, because I'm having a conversation with someone. So then after they say, "What's up? What do you have for me?" Whatever, I send this. And you can tweak it to sound like you or whatever, but I basically just like, "Hope I'm not bothering you. I was wondering if you'd mind sharing a post for me. I'm super close to paying off student loan debt. Your support would mean the world to me." And then I kind of explain the giveaway and how it works. And then kind of end with like, "Figure it doesn't hurt to ask, right?" Or something like that. And I'm not going to say like a lot of people will leave me on red. Like that's just normal. We're trying to ask, 100 people so that 10 people will post, right? So if we're asking only 10 people, one person might post for you. You know what I mean? So we're trying to get the masses out there. We're trying to reach as many people as possible. So that's another thing you can do too right now. If you've already posted a giveaway post on your page and you're struggling with engagement with that, this is another way to get the HAP ball rolling. And I do this a lot too. If I'm just like dead, like HAPs are not happening, I'm like, boom, "Hey beauty, question for you. Hey beauty, question for you." Like I'm just sending those suckers out and waiting for people to reply to me. And a lot of times will do it at night. So in the morning I wake up and people are like, "Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?" And then I can just keep the ball rolling. And then another way too is posting in your stories. I don't do this as much, so I don't know, Larissa, if you want to speak to this at all, but like I have some graphics sometimes that I'll put in my story that's like, "Hey, if you post this on your story and tag me in it, I will get you an entry into a giveaway for yada, 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 for whatever the giveaway is that month." So that's another way. Sorry, you unmuted yourself.
No, yeah. Stories, they can be actually pretty productive with giveaways if you get kind of good at using like the graphics and stuff. But honestly, I find better interaction with like a black picture or a black solid background on my stories with just a question and a poll, like want an answer yes or no, you know what I mean? And then it gives me the opportunity to go into it. So some people are just clicking through, and I purposely put it somewhere where they're not gonna be, probably accidentally, because I don't want like accidents, because then it's just wasting my time. I mean, some people look at that as like, well, you're in their inbox, and I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't want to purposely put it there for the interaction. I want people who are actually interested. That's what I'm going for, you know. So that's one of the ways that story is, you know, putting like a poll up, or just asking a question on a color background, just like what you would do even in your actual posting. It works in stories too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's another thing too. If you've already posted on your feed, on your Facebook feed, you can go to your Instagram and Facebook stories and put something in your story too. So that way people are seeing it in a different way, because sometimes people aren't going to see your feed and people aren't going to see your stories. And it's a way for people to see, or have two opportunities to see that you're doing a giveaway. And then the last way is other people posting about the giveaway for you, which is one of the things that we'll kind of talk about as we keep going. But basically, and I know Larissa and I were talking a lot about this, but we focus our efforts primarily on giveaway posts because, like we said, that's the lead generating tool for our business. And so the biggest way to grow our business is through host to post and having other people post for us about the giveaway, because that's going to get the most comments, that's going to get the most engagement, and that's going to get the most people added to our network seeing our stuff. And so I focus, and I know Larissa does too, but I focus a lot on giveaway posts themselves, because most people are going to comment on that and most people are going to friend you from that, because who doesn't want free money, right? I think that's all.
Exactly. Who doesn't want to be entered into a free giveaway? And guys, I don't want you to share or shy away at all from this. It's one of those things you really get to bless people with, and you need to look at it as like you are really being able to do that. And get hype about it. I share when we have winners. I share about that stuff, man. I want to prove and show all those people that are like, oh, you're giving it. It's like, no, ours is real. Like, I know there's scammers out there, but we really do this, and we really do bless people. And the more excited you're more excited you are about it, the more excited your network's going to be to comment on your post. And like, you know, one of the things I took away from something that Jennifer said, and, you know, in the beginning, I did do this. Now that my network is used to seeing host to post or giveaway posts from me, I don't have as much issues all the time, but she's posting about the giveaway several times a week because she knows that she's got new eyes constantly seeing her posts. So why wouldn't you maybe work that into your, you know, every couple of day thing? And it kind of makes sense to me. Although I will say at the same time, I was always a little worried about burning out my network with posting too much about it on my page. And that's why I give so many giveaway host to posts. But it's an interesting thing to think of. And I know that when you're new, you definitely need to be posting a little bit more about it because people aren't seeing your stuff. And so as you're starting to get your algorithm moving, more and more people are going to start seeing it. So you'll start posting more about it. But I want to bring this kind of full circle to point this out too. So now you've got your post up on your page, right? You've got green light messages going out asking people if they will post for you. And now you're going to have people in your inbox to respond to. You're going to have people on your newsfeed commenting. And so you've got a couple of things going on. So hopefully you're getting quite a few messages coming into you. And like what she was saying, writing down, you know, people's names when they say yes is very important for follow-up. But here's what the tip I want to make sure I share with you is like, so you have the post that's up. you want to comment on it and boost it. And do, if you've got quite a few, chunk it up. You don't have to do all of those people in one sitting. Do 10 and then go do another task and then come back and do 10 more. One, you want to boost it at different times so that it's not constantly like you don't go through all of them and then you can't boost it again, right? Or you can, but you have to like force something along. It's not so natural. So make sure that you are commenting. For me, like, and this is different for what Jennifer just shared with us tonight. And to be honest with you, I will share why I don't do it the same way she does, and it works for her. So that's amazing. But for me, it was way overwhelming. I actually ask people now to send me a friend request and send me the message giveaway. And because I won't miss their message if it goes to a spam folder, because I know what I'm looking for one. And two, if they're sending me a friend request, my friend request or my picture gets boosted closer to the top. And so I'm getting friend requests from a lot of different people. And I'm seeing, and sometimes that can be a little, because there's like a lot of people out there that, like, you know, if you get a bunch of random friend requests from men that are from Afghanistan, that are widowed, that, you know, don't have a profile picture, but, you know, and like became Facebook like on yesterday or something, don't accept them. Like, you don't have to accept everybody. If you see someone that is friend requesting you that you want no part of, like they have like some anti-Christ thing and you're like, yep, nope, not gonna add them, don't add them. It's okay. You have that control. You don't have to give everyone an entry, and they don't even know what they have to do to get an entry. So if you see them and you don't like them and you don't want them in your network or whatever, feel free to not. But here's a rule I always go by. I usually add the people that I do a screen, like I'm like, okay, they don't look like too crazy, so I'll add them. And if they don't host a post for me, more than like some of those people will like stay friends with you. But I will go through the next month and delete any of the men, especially that I got friends from host a post that I am done being friends with for whatever reason. Like if men came to me from a host a post, I'll let them host a post for me for sure. I'll get in their network. I'll try to be friends with them, with their girlfriends and stuff. But if you need to snooze people or you need to get people off of your Facebook because you're seeing things that you don't like, then get rid of them. Like, make sure you know that. I've had girls that have like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I really want this person to be in my network. I don't, they know so-and-so, but don't add them. You have complete control over that, okay? So just make sure you know that. And as you are, reasons too, and I want to share this with you. When you send friend requests out to people and they don't accept them, you have to go back into Facebook and go to your sent friend request and delete them out. So whether it's a product post or it's a giveaway post and you are asking or you are sending them a friend request and a message and they're not responding to you, or they're not responding to your Facebook friend request, you want to go in there and delete that, because if you have a ton of friend requests out that are not accepted, that's going to hurt your algorithm. So that's another reason why I don't even do that anymore. Like, I just make everybody friend request me and message me. And I know that those people are true hot leads. They are very interested in what I'm doing, whether, again, it's product or it's giveaway. They are intrigued and interested enough to message me and friend request me. And I love it because I just constantly have messages in my inbox, because I give 90% probably, if not, no, probably not less. I do probably 90% giveaway host to post, to be honest with you. And the cool thing is that everybody's like, well, how do you make money off of a giveaway host to post? Because you're going to use the people who are posting for you as leads. If they post for you, social media, they should automatically be looked at as a potential distributor, because they're willing to post for you, right? So that's a clue. They should be looking at it, and you are going to thank them for putting up the post. And this is where you're going to turn the conversation from just posting for you into a potential loyal customer or a potential distributor. And it's incredibly important that you don't just thank them and be done. You need to thank them and offer them something for for it. So whether that is, offering them 40% off of your products if they want to try it, and they have no idea what your products are. They have no idea. They're like, what's your products? And you're like, okay, cool. I can introduce myself now to them and a little bit and be like, hey, I've got these amazing products that make you feel, so good. Can I ask you a few questions? And then you've literally turned the conversation from just a host a post that's put up to a live conversation and a real potential lead in front of you right now. And it's an awesome opportunity to start talking about Payways. And then you also have the post up that they're putting up, and you've got all that network and people to be talking to as well. So again, kind of a full circle, and I want to point this out, is that you need to be consistent in your posting, okay? Like you heard how Jennifer was talking 3 to 5 posts a day. You need to be consistently on your Facebook. Let me rephrase that, because that's not true. You need to be consistently posting. You can do a lot of things that save that time, so you don't have to be on Facebook all the time, guys. You need to work smarter, not harder in this, for sure, okay? So if you can pre-plan a couple of posts, do it. Go to leaders that are outside of your even your group if you want to. Find people that are on Zooms when you're on like corporate calls. Look at the chat group and write down some people's names and go and look and see what they're doing and save their posts to collections so that you don't have to constantly come up with everything, right? But 3 posts a day, something personal, something product, something business or why related. And it's super important because all of these new people that you are going to now have friends that are coming to see your page are going to see your posts. So yes, a product post is great to get up, and hopefully you'll find, some people from that product post, but the giveaway post is going to get a lot more interaction, a lot more friends on your network, and then they're going to see your posts about it. They're going to see you using it. They're going to have that like, no trust factor with you, and probably you're going to seal the deal a lot faster with people than you will if you do a product post, in general, okay? It's the same thing. You got to get those people to your network, right? So one of the things that I struggled with for a long time on product posts was how to get them to my network. And honestly, I do better personally with the thank you, like getting them, doing a host a post and getting actual people signing from my thank you. So do we have, Hannah, do you have some thank yous that you would like to share in the chat with people?
I actually just sent a whole bunch of them while you were talking.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, guys. So definitely be copying and pasting these, because this is where the magic happens with host to post, is being able to talk. I'm frozen, ain't I? No? Yes?
Your face is frozen, but your voice is not.
Okay, good deal. So this is where the magic happens, is when you get to turn that from somebody who just posted for you to somebody who is actually a potential distributor or a potential client for yours, a loyal customer, okay? Hannah, do you have anything to add to that section right there?
I don't think so. I think you touched on everything.
All right. There was a few people who actually did comment on the thread that in Success Squad that was asking if you were struggling with a few things. And I think we kind of covered a couple of those already, but I want to make sure that I talk a few things. Like one person was saying writer's block, like how hard it is to come up with either posts, whether either it's giveaway posts or haps. And I want you to know that there is years of experience and years of information on the Success Squad page, and you can search things in the Success Squad page. So when you're on that, if you go to the little search bar when you're on the page and put in host to post, you will find zillion different ones to be able to use, and you will have to go through finding what ones were good for your network. You just saw Jennifer talking about how she was sticking with one product and it was doing really well, so she stayed on that until it didn't work. And so I think it's important to give something some time, like she said, a couple of weeks to see how it's working, and then evaluate. If that's not working, change it to something else. But we used to do a heck of a lot more product posts. I used to do a lot more product posts, and it didn't give me quite as much of a fruitfulness as what I have seen recently, since I have changed the shift after watching that Amy Spence video. It really did just change how I viewed host to post, and I saw instantly the increase in activity on my posts, especially with the colored block product post. Man, I put up a volunteered needed for the gummies one on an orange sliced background, and it got like 150 comments. It was like one of my posts ever. I was like, what? Yeah, I got like 12 sales from that one freaking post. It was great. So I don't want you guys, don't ever think that you have to constantly come up with things on your own. What you need to concentrate on when it comes to coming up with things on your own, you really should be playing with posts about your why, why you're doing this, the things that this is going to be paying for, or things that you're excited about for this business. That is going to be something that you want to try and do as organically as possible, or get inspiration for someone and then rewrite it to make it your life, but put in their flavor in there if you wanted to. But and then I hope all of you picked up on that tip about don't just count on your green lights, okay? For green light messaging isn't just green light messaging anymore. There's multiple ways of just reaching out about the giveaway. We used to do that all the time back in the day, and then I think we got away with it for a while. But now it's just go to your friends list, and any friend with you, message them about it. And I loved her tip there. If you guys missed that, she literally took a screenshot and wrote HAP, and she knew what person she left off on. I'm like, that's brilliant. I love that, because that's usually what I end up doing. Is I scroll and scroll. I'm like, where? I'm just going to land in the middle of my friends somewhere, just start messaging. But I think that that's a little bit better organized. So I hope you guys got that tip. And then, get rid of some comments. I already did that. Oh, and if you guys don't know how to snooze people, I didn't know how to do this, so I want to share it in case you have any newbies that don't know how. If you have somebody that's either really negative in your network, or you just don't really want to see their stuff anymore, but you're not ready to unfriend them per se, or if it's a customer that constantly, or a potential customer that constantly comments but never does anything, and you just feel like going ahead and snoozing them for a minute, do that. Anybody in your network that you see regularly that isn't really interacting, with you very much, go ahead and snooze them for 30 days. And how you do that is on your news feed. You any post that they have to post, you go to that post on your newsfeed, hit the three little dots, and in that menu it'll come up where you can snooze. If you, for some reason, it doesn't work the same, at least for me, that I know of, when you actually go to their page. It'll allow you to what's it called? It's not called snooze there. It's called something else. What am I thinking of?
I think if you go to their page, it has you unfollow them.
Yeah. It's a little more.
Even if I go to their page, I have to go to one of their posts. You have to hit the three dots on one of their posts, and that lets you snooze them for 30 days. Okay.
Yes, perfect. And every time you do that, anytime you actually unfriend someone or you snooze them, new people come in to replace them. And so don't forget, if your network is stale, you need to do that. You need to go ahead and get new eyes, because just the Facebook algorithm is 6 to 12% of your people actually see your stuff, so you want people who are interacting to see it. So snooze the ones that are not, get them out and do that. Oh, and when she was talking about she doesn't add men, I always add a bunch of their girlfriends before I delete them. just go into their girlfriends list, see any cute people, beep, 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 and then I get rid of the guy. So I know that this is not as task driven. Host to Post is kind of hard, in my opinion, to do like quote unquote task driven. But I hope you guys got all those tips from Jennifer about being super intentional, getting out 50. That's a big number to me at one time. I've been chunking it up in 20s. I do 20 in the morning, 20 at lunchtime, and 20 before I go to bed. So I mean that seems to work pretty well for me. But do whatever you got to do. If you make it a goal, like when you use the bathroom, I'm going to send out 10 right now. Like that is the easiest, quickest way to continuously get your messenger lit up with people who are interested in entering your giveaway, and then you can turn them into loyal customers or distributors, right? So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Does anybody, I want to open up the floor of the chat. Does anybody have any questions? Is there any concerns or struggles that people are having that we haven't addressed quite yet, or that you just want to share before we close it out? All right, I'll give a second. I know Host to Post can definitely feel like a big task, but I promise you guys, when you use boards and you have all these messages saved and you just literally, it's a touch of a button with those keyboard replacement boards. You can do this with your sleep. You can do it when you're cooking dinner. You can do it when you've got a baby on you nursing. You can do it when you are, at the airport sitting there waiting. You can do it in your car when you're not driving. You can do it, anytime, especially with boards. Host to Post, you do not have to think a lot until you get to the conversation with the person about the actual product or the opportunity. So you can do it practically blind until that conversation starts, you know what I mean? So, and if you're struggling with that, get with your upline, because there's so many boards out there now that are helping people with Host to Post. So if you're struggling, get with your upline and let's get it remedied, because it's the biggest and best thing for your business. All right, guys. All right, you all have a wonderful evening and go out and make all the people happy. Bye.